Hello everyone, welcome to Carnivorous Plants Hub. Last time you saw my fly traps, we were stuck in what I like to call the great flower debacle of 2025. And let's just say things weren't looking so hot. But here we are today, and I've got some good news. They've bounced back, they're thriving, and honestly, I couldn't be happier with how they're looking right now. We're also going to be taking a look at my Sarracenia. They also seem to be a little late in hitting their stride this year. But of course, like most things, there is a bit of a catch. It's already September, which means we're right up against the end of the growing season. Part of me thinks that if I had just cut those flowers earlier, I'd be showing you this growth back in July. But hey, lesson learned, and honestly, I'm just excited to see them thriving again. So here's what we're going to do. I'm not going to talk your ear off the whole time about every single plant. Instead, sit back, enjoy some music, and check out how my collection is doing. I'll pop in with a few comments here and there when I really feel like I have something to say about a particular plant or a situation. Let's go ahead and get started. The giant Kudo has struggled a bit. I'm not exactly sure why it backed off, but it was growing really great in the spring. I didn't let this one flower, so I'm not 100% sure what's going on. Anyone out there grow these? Maybe you have some insight. If so, drop a comment and let me know what you know. Mine are growing very low and close to the ground, and in the spring they were growing a bit taller and a little bit bigger. The razor blade has actually been one of my favorites this summer. I really love the color and the saw-shaped cilia. This BYC004 has been quite a surprise. It's had huge traps and really fantastic growth. I also have to comment on this planter full of typicals. These are some Walmart Venus flytraps that I purchased a couple of years ago. They're some of my absolute favorite this year. They're growing really thick and actually growing really big traps. Don't sleep on a good typical. They've had to battle with some Cape Sundews this summer, but I love it when I can grow different types of carnivorous plants in the one planter. I'm guessing these have some giant cultivar blood in them from somewhere, because they're absolutely thriving. And real quick, before we look at the rest of the collection, I just wanted to thank you for being here. If you're enjoying the video, make sure to pour some water on the like button and subscribe to help the channel grow. Also, if you haven't yet, check out carnivorousplanthub.com. That's where you'll find my premium substrates, years in the making, and my most popular product, the Carnivorous Plant Repotting Kit. These kits are perfect for Venus flytraps, Sarracenia, sundews. I even have one for pings, and these also work for other carnivorous plants. You'll get my perfected soil blend plus the high quality planters. It really takes all the guesswork out of repotting your carnivorous plants. Just get the repotting kit and follow my step-by-step video to set up your carnivorous plants for success. I've even got videos on my site showing you exactly how I make the soil and the ingredients that I use for full transparency. The link to my website is in the description and in the pinned comment. Head on over and take a look. The UK sawtooth has just went bonkers this year. I did cut the flowers off these pretty early though, so that's probably one of the reasons they've really thrived. The sunrise here was hit really hard by flower stalks. They grew some really big, thick stalks that had some false vivipary. I probably should have cut them, but I wanted to see what they were going to do. It's still trying to recover. There is some small growth popping up, but not much yet. And here's my alien. It's certainly not thriving, but it's not dead, and I think that's a win for me. This is the longest I've actually had one go without dying, so I'm going to call this a victory. Let's see if we can keep it going. You can see that my fly traps have been feasting on flies. That's why when people say you shouldn't feed all the traps at once, I think I tend to disagree a little bit. As long as the bugs are alive, I think you can feed the plant as much as you want. I wouldn't feed them back to back all the time, but mine often have every trap filled with flies. My seed grown here did look completely dead after it flowered. I really didn't think it was going to make it, but it's just now starting to make a full recovery, so I was pretty relieved. The bristle-tooth flytraps have also really thrived this year. Similar in shape to the UK sawtooth, they've also grown and really multiplied. The direwolf is also looking great, but it's definitely getting snuffed out by the capes. It's time for repotting for sure. And right here we have the other bristle-tooth. And we got my Mr. Knightley here, who was my 2024 MVP. It struggled a little bit early, but it's really come on late summer. This flytrap is just going crazy. It's going to be fun dividing this one up. This is one of my favorites from California Carnivores. It's an amazing flytrap. And actually, if you're looking for some amazing Venus flytrap cultivars or other incredible carnivorous plants, I'm so excited to be teaming up with California Carnivores. They are one of the most experienced and knowledgeable carnivorous plant nurseries in the entire world. They have a massive selection year-round of all types of carnivorous plants. There will definitely be something in their nursery that you fall in love with. On top of that, they have been generous enough to offer my viewers an exclusive 10% discount on their order when they enter Bug Eater at checkout. That's BUGEATER, Bug Eater. I have links in the description and the pinned comment, so you can head on over and pick out the perfect carnivorous plant to add to your collection. You know you deserve it. Let's go ahead and head on back to the video. The crested petiole also started off really slow, but it's definitely starting to make a little bit of a comeback. The EEC Purple People Eater from Em Carnivorium is getting some nice size this summer, and just look at the color of that flytrap. Truly a beautiful carnivorous plant. Shout out to Em Carnivorium. They're doing their big seed sale right now. No better place to get Venus flytrap seeds, plus so much of the money that they make goes to good causes. Hit them up on Instagram. I'll have them linked down in the description and the pinned comment, so you can go get some of the best seeds available on the market. Here is the Gaping Maw. It's actually put out one of the biggest traps that I've had all summer from any of my plants. What a beast. My low green here, it just can't get it going. Every time a trap is just about to open up, it turns black and dies. Something is definitely going on here. I need to repot this very soon. Something with this plant is just not letting it grow correctly. Everything around it is growing and doing really well under the exact same conditions. I need to get it in some new substrate. I'll probably do a video showing you that soon. The Whiskers here is also putting out some really nice big traps, and just look how long that cilia is. I wonder how this one got its name. It's such a cool fly trap. It's another one from California Carnivores. The bimbo has been one of my favorites all summer long. I'm kind of bummed that all the traps are closed right now. I'm pretty sure it's competing with the gaping maw for the biggest traps in my collection. But instead of just putting out one or two big traps, it seems like all the traps that it puts out are huge. It's much harder to tell when they're closed, unfortunately, but it's been a really fun fly trap. This one was from Raymond Barker over at Trap Daddy Venus Flytraps. This poor Sarracenia here has just gotten completely overgrown and is in desperate need of a repot. These binata and capes have just completely taken over. We had a few windstorms this summer that were kind of uncharacteristic for our area. They did some damage to my Sarracenia, so I decided to get these supports to help them stay upright. Since putting them up, I haven't had any trouble with any pictures getting knocked over. I think I'll start using these come spring. Has anyone used these before? Can you tell me any pros or cons? Just drop a comment and let me know if you've used them or not. And if you haven't used them, do you use anything to prevent wind damage? If so, what works best for you? Here is the Sarracenia maroon. It's an OG plant. It was part of my very first video, and it's just going crazy this summer. This purpurea right here might be my favorite SAR this summer. It's just putting out a lot of healthy, strong pitchers and growing like crazy. It's been really fun plant to have this growing season. And if you take a look there in the middle, you can see there's a little binata sneaking up. And that's the September 1st update. They've really made great progress in August, and I'm hoping for a sunny September here in North Idaho so we can keep the growing going. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. If you're interested in Venus flytrap care, make sure to check out the video popping up on the screen right now. Total care in under 10 minutes. There's a lot of info packed into 10 minutes. It's definitely worth a watch. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I really hope to catch you in my next video. Bye!